Nawaz Sharif resigns as the Prime Minister of Pakistan following Supreme Court decision to disqualify him from office. Presidential Commission orders information to be revealed on Perpetual Treasury's investments. Parliament in uproar. Opposition parliamentarians attempt to remove the mace from the chambers. Speaker informs Parliament motion to declare petroleum-related services as an essential service has been passed. Prime Minister says Hambantota port deal will be signed tomorrow.
Hello there, very good evening to you and welcome to Primetime News. We are coming to you live and direct from the Newsfirst studio here in Colombo. I'm Stephanie Lazarus.
And I'm Krishan Devasagayan, and in your top story this evening.
A heated argument broke out in Parliament when a vote was being held to pass the Gazette notification issued by the President, making the unloading and distributing of petroleum an essential service.
Now, while many parliamentary sessions were suspended until the 4th of August, the adjournment debate that was to be held this evening with regard to the Hambantota Port Agreement was disrupted. Without going in for a vote yesterday, time was taken to express your side of the story. Today's debate was also pushed back. I asked several questions yesterday to which I was expecting the answers. We explained the manner in which thugs were brought into the area. We revealed their names. We revealed those who were involved in assaulting people and protecting the police. We are expecting the government to speak about it today. However, they are simply trying to pass this motion.
We can have another debate.
When a parliamentarian makes such a statement, the minister in charge of the police or the Prime Minister should respond.
ගරු කතානායකතුමනි මම ඒ විමර්ශන අවසන් වුණ පසු පාර්ලිමේන්තුවට පිළිතුරු දෙන්නම්.
නෑ දැන් මේක ඉවරයක් කරගන්න ඕනේ. දැන් මේ වාගේ දැන් අද there was a request for division. Division එකම අග්‍රව කළා.
පැහැදිලි ලෙස කිව්වා.
I clearly said that a provincial councillor was attacked at the Valikada police station. How can you conduct investigations with the same OIC in charge? You cannot do that. I understand that we need to get through the order of the day, but thugs are being used to assault people. Is this why you created this government?
මේ පැහැදිලි ලෙස මොකද ඔයාලට මම නියෝග දෙන්නේ?
නෑ අපි ස්වාධීන
පරීක්ෂණ ගරු කතානායකතුමනි.
මේක අද සභාවේ වැඩ කටයුතු කරගෙන
නෑ සභාවේ වැඩ කටයුතු කරන්න ඕන තමයි. හැබැයි ගරු කතානායක මෙර කණ්ඩායම දාලා වාහන එල්ල කරලා තිබෙනවනම් නේ මේකට තමයි අසල ආණ්ඩුව ඇදුවේ.
මට මිනිස්සු නම් කියන්නේ
වැඩ කටයුතු කරගෙන යනවා. ගරු මෙතනින් divide Junna.
The only statement he can make is that he can provide a response to Parliament when investigations conclude. There were several people who were arrested under the Public Protection Ordinance. None of the people who came to assault the protesters were arrested. They were not even questioned.
The police
Yeah, move item 1 there. We can't behind points of order now. Yeah.
Go ahead.
As the Speaker, I can advise him to present a report. That I have done. We need to move on with the agenda, so we will have to start the vote. This is the time for the vote. We cannot violate standing orders. They are trying to make a new tradition and we are against it. Please take your seats and begin the vote. This happened the day before yesterday as well. After the vote, we can have a party leaders meeting. There is no point in what is happening to either the people or yourselves. This is just a waste of public funds. Just because they ring the bell, you don't need to go in for a vote.
When the vote begins, you cannot interrupt it.
Standing orders clear. Standing orders clear. Chanda padang aranne. Standing orders harima clear ekana.
Speaker, please ask the government to respond.
The minister will respond in due course. He said he cannot respond now. I cannot hear what you are saying. Come closer. Let's call for a party leaders meeting after this.
Honorable Ranil Wickremesinghe.
Pakshay.
Honorable Daya Gamage. Honorable Malik Samarikrama. Vijit Vijayabhanu Soisa.
Pakshay.
Honorable D.M. Swaminathan.
Moving on to more news from the country's legislature, the Speaker announced the Gazette making petroleum and related service an essential service has been approved in Parliament. The Speaker's media unit stated that the Parliament is adjourned till the 4th of August as a result of a heated situation that arose today.
A media release issued by the Speaker of Parliament states that after the resolution was moved by the Leader of the House, Parliamentarian Dinesh Gunawardena had asked for a break and Chief Opposition Whip Anurukumar Dissanayake had continued to provide facts. The release said since members of the opposition were on the floor of the House, the electronic voting could not be carried out. A nominal vote was carried out later and several members had tried to obtain the mace. The Speaker had informed the Gazette was approved since all the ruling party members voted in favour. Our parliamentary correspondent said members of the joint opposition convened in Parliament after it was adjourned.
The
Sergeant-at-Arms left the chamber with the mace. The Speaker cannot sit in his seat once the mace is removed. A vote cannot be held. No speeches can be made. This applies to both the government and the opposition. The Public Security Ordinance is yet to be approved.
The mace is on the shoulders of the Sergeant-at-Arms. Then we should consider that Parliament is in session even when the mace is on the shoulders of the Sergeant-at-Arms. We don't consider this to be a gazette that has been approved.
The Sergeant-at-Arms protected the mace until the vote was over. There is nothing which says that the mace should be on the bracket or holder. The mace should remain in the chamber. The mace is broken and the person who broke it was also there. The mace was removed from the chamber once the vote concluded. There is no issue. Everything took place according to the standing orders.
According to the parliamentary laws, the vote was held and it was announced that the bill was passed. We are saddened that we could not hold the adjournment debate. We were forced to adjourn this session till the 4th of August. This was a waste of Parliament's time. This is not what the people expect.
The Hambantota report deal was to be discussed during the adjournment debate. We have doubts whether all this was done to willfully circumvent this debate.
The JO is unwilling to face reality. This was showcased today. If this debate went ahead, a lot of what happened when this port was being built would have seen the light of day. They were frightened of this and they came prepared to disrupt the activities of Parliament. This is probably the only opposition that wasted a chance like this to express what they have to say.
Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe, speaking at a special press briefing at the Central Bank today, spoke on the public-private partnership agreement regarding the Hambantota port.
We are signing tomorrow the agreement on the Hambantota harbour. We gave the opposition a debate today. They disrupted the adjournment because they could not oppose it. This deal is better than the one that they have signed. And there will be enough investments to make it into another world-class port. But the 1.1 billion we receive this year and next year will reduce our debt. And there's another 300 million additional investment that will be made. Compare this to the 46.7 billion that we have spent from 2011 on the port of Hambantota. Could have given 2.5 million of our poorest people free health care. or we could have increased the education budget by 60%. The other one which has also been a white elephant is Mattala. By end of the year, we will have an agreement on Mattala. So you have a functioning harbour, functioning airport, and industrialization of that area. Still that we have some bad news. We can't find any takers for the Suryawava cricket stadium. So all of us will have to pay from our taxes and VAT. We have good news. And as the governor said, we hope the growth this year will be between 4.5 to 5%. Last year was only 4.4, but that's a part of the tight monetary policies that we had. And we are growing out of it. I think by end of the year we can stabilize on inflation and go ahead.
The total debt burden between 2005 and 2014 increased by 233%. The Rajapaksas went home leaving us a bigger debt mountain than the Mithotamulla garbage dump. We will only see the peak of this mountain by 2018 or 2019. Sri Lanka needs about 3.2 trillion rupees to repay all the debts. Out of this, 82% is for loans obtained during the Rajapaksa era. The Prime Minister also spoke on the Parliament being adjourned when the Hambantota port was to be discussed.
No, it was taken up. It was an adjournment motion. At the adjournment time, the opposition was disrupting. The Speaker asked them to go and sit. They didn't go and sit. So finally, the adjournment took place. Let us face the facts. How can they go and oppose the Hambantota deal? How can they oppose it? Who signed it? We are giving the country a better deal without debt, without any implications of security.
Against the backdrop of the Hambantota Harbour Agreement, several port trade unions convened a joint media briefing today.
The same operations that took place in Colombo are taking place in Hambantota. They lowered tariffs by 50% and moved the transshipment of vehicles to Hambantota to show that there are ships coming into the port. The Hambantota port is causing a huge loss. They will begin the transshipment from Hambantota without the tariff cut, and this will become an income to the port. Because of the loans we are paying for Hambantota, we have not been able to increase the salaries of port employees. Their overtime is being slashed, the bonuses are not increasing. If we are to resolve such issues, we need to be free of this debt.
I was the former secretary of the CMU branch of the Port Authority. We protested against the Queensbridge Agreement and I lost my job for 5 years. Those JVP leaders who are making a big noise today held ministerial portfolios. They never looked into the plight of the employees who lost their jobs and thousands of rupees from the EPF. Today they are playing political tricks and saying that they will strike tomorrow. We could have put on a similar show easily, but we didn't. The JVP trade union betrayed us and cozied up to the minister. There is no point in having an ancestral home just for a namesake if you cannot maintain it. But if we develop it into a hotel and create a revenue stream, then the owners of the home will also be happy. These leaders did not come before the nation and promised to hand over the oil tanks in Trincomalee to the Indians. History clearly reflects what has happened to leaders who have betrayed their mandate. You don't need to look too far back. Recent history is a good example. You can see what has happened to leaders who went against the opinions of the general public. These incidents have taken place in the country in the past as well. Assaulting people, using the army to oppress protests, this is all very familiar. The people who came into power to stop this is now committing these same things today. Petroleum workers launched the strike against their institute being privatized. We condemn the use of the police and the military to expel the protesters from the premises of their workplace. A tense situation erupted between two trade unions at the Sapugaskanda oil refinery. The situation took place as a result of a statement made to the media by the chairman of the Jatika Sevaka Sangamaya of the CPC refinery branch, Chandra Vasanta.
යම් වචනයක් කියුණා නම් එයා සමාව ගනි.
I may have made a statement. I apologize for it. When you speak to the media and answer questions, the meaning could have changed a bit. However, I have not betrayed anyone. We need to work together with everyone here, whatever our political differences are.
අපි එකට වැඩ කරන්න ඕන මේ දේශපාලන පක්ෂ ભેද මොනවා වුණත් අපි ඒකට හම්බෙන්න ඕන. තමයි බෞද්ධිකව හම්බන්තර වරාය ඇත්තම විරුද්ධයි. එනයි වැටි නැත්තේ. එලා පිටින් එකට විරෝධතාවයට එකතුන් දැද්දියයි. අපි කියන්නේ අනිවාර්ය විරුද්ධයි. පැහැදිලිවම කියනවා. අන්න හරි. පැහැදිලිවම කියන මේක අපි හම්බ කරක් ආපු දැන අරේව ගෙන්නන්න ඕනේ කලාපෝමන් ගෙන්නන්න ඕනේ. කලාපෝමාරක් වෙන්න ඇති.
Managing Director of the Ceylon Petroleum Storage Terminals Limited, Sanjeeva Vijayratna, speaking to Newsfirst, said that the dispute between the two trade unions has now been resolved.
It is with great sadness we report Group Director of the Capital Maharaja Organisation Limited, Senarath Kampakotuwa, passed away last night.
Senarath Kampakotuwa was 62 years old at the time of his demise. His remains were brought to his residence this afternoon. The final rites are to be conducted on Monday, the 31st of July at 4 p.m. at the Boralla General Cemetery. Born on the 2nd of January 1955 in Udispattuwa, Theldenia, Senarath Kampakotuwa attended Udispattuwa Mahavidyalaya and Royal College, Colombo. He joined the Capital Maharaja Organisation Limited on the 17th of March 1975 and was named as the Executive of the Year in 1991. Senarath Kampakotuwa, who worked with much dedication and passion, held the post of CEO of many TCMOL companies. His contribution as Group Director of Human Resources of the group was immense right up to his passing. On an invitation extended to him by the United National Party, Senarath Kampakotuwa took the post of General Secretary of the UNP in 2001 for a period of 4 years. He also served as the Treasurer of the United National Party.
The Presidential Commission of Inquiry issued a number of instructions to Perpetual Capital Holdings, Perpetual Treasuries Limited and Arjun Aloysius today. Newsfirst Zulfiq Farzan reports.
The Commission instructed the lawyer appearing for Perpetual Treasuries Limited to submit all required documents, including a list of the shareholders, directors and purchasers on or before the 2nd of August. President's counsel Kalinga Indatissa informed the Commission that he will no longer be appearing for Arjun Aloysius and he would be appearing for Perpetual Capital Holdings. Counsel was instructed to furnish all details of companies that are subsidiaries and are controlled and owned by Perpetual Capital Holdings and Sri Lanka Trading Company Limited. The details include directors, shareholders and balance sheets for the years 2013 and 2014. The Commission said that it is aware that Walt and Rowe Associates Private Limited is owned by Perpetual Capital Holdings and is a subsidiary of W.M. Mendes and Company Limited. The Commission is keen to know where the money generated in the secondary market by PTL ended up at. It wishes to know how the purchases and investments in relation to W.M. Mendes and Company Limited, Integrated Media Network, Voice of Asia Networks Private Limited, a newspaper called Jana Yogaya, were made after the 1st of January 2015. The attorneys are requested to furnish the details on or before the 2nd of August.
The attorney for former Governor Arjuna Mahendran informed that his client handed over his communication devices to the investigators on Wednesday. The attorney made an application for representation when the devices are being examined by the detectives. The Attorney General's Department opposed this application, claiming that the devices have been sealed and will be handed over to an expert who will carry out the digital forensic examination and will be returned to the Commission thereafter. Mahendran's counsel requested for representation to be made when the extraction of data takes place. The AG's department opposed this application, citing that no other party can be present for the extraction and the expert does not wish to disclose the tools, systems and mechanism used for the process. The AG's department will make available a PDF document of the information recovered as it focuses on recovering the deleted data. It must be noted that it is for the first time that in a judicial process in relation to a commission that was appointed that a digital forensic examination is taking place on a communication device of a party that is mentioned in this proceeding. Arjun Aloysius has not complied with the detectives when they had asked for the password for his Apple account, which he used on his Apple 7 mobile phone. Aloysius had first said he does not use an account, but investigators revealed that he does so. Yet he had refused to give the password, and a request was made from the Commission to issue an order on Arjun Aloysius to provide the password to the Apple account.
On the same story now, today's witness at the Commission revealed startling information on the purchase of a luxury apartment in Colombo involving the family of a government minister.
Today's witness, B. Sinnaya, the Chief Financial Officer of Global Transportation Logistics Private Limited, testified that the apartment at Monarch Residency was purchased on the instruction of company directors, the wife and daughter of Minister Ravi Karunanayake. The board of directors of Global Transportation Logistics Private Limited include the wife and daughter of Minister Karunanayake, V. Lakshmikanthan, the chairman, and his son, Lakshmi Shankar. He was instructed by the board to purchase the apartment for the chairman and his son to stay when they visit Sri Lanka or to house any foreign visitor. He said that he negotiated with Ceylon Bank to obtain a loan of 72 million rupees and an additional 78 million rupees on the mortgage of the company property in Sidua. The agreement with the bank was that the installments of 11 million rupees will be repaid directly to the bank using the rental income of the apartment. However, according to his testimony, the 16.5 million rupee payment for the apartment was made using the liquid cash of the chairman placed in the company safe. He testified that Lakshmikanthan brought 70 million rupees in cash in February 2015 and placed it in the company's safe, and in 2017 he brought another 75 million rupees. Bisinaya said this could have been a possible attempt of money laundering. The witness testified that these placements were not recorded in any of the company books. He added that the company did not have funds to make the apartment purchase and the first 8 loan installments were repaid with the money available in the safe. According to the AG's department, the safe at Global Transportation Logistics Private Limited is like a perpetual treasure box. The witness said he does not know the source of origin of the money used to pay the loan for the apartment in which the Karunanayake family continues to stay.
Following the startling revelation that was made through the Panama Papers, just as it was mentioned on the headlines, Nawaz Sharif has resigned as Prime Minister of Pakistan following a decision by the country's Supreme Court to disqualify him from office.
The ruling came after a probe into his family's wealth in the wake of the leaked 2016 Panama Papers, which linked Sharif's children to offshore firms. Sharif has consistently denied any wrongdoings in the case. The 5 judges reached a unanimous verdict in the Islamabad court, which was filled to capacity. One of the judges, Ijaz Afzal Khan, said that Sharif was no longer, quote, eligible to be an honest member of the parliament, unquote. Pakistan's Interior Minister Nizar Ali Khan earlier advised Sharif to accept Friday's verdict. The court has recommended anti-corruption cases against several individuals, including Sharif, his daughter Mariam, and her husband Safdar, Finance Minister Ishaq Dar, and others.
Today, what we see in this country is we vote in a government in 2015 on January 8th for good governance. What is happening to good governance? if you will see, the Korean president been taken into custody. You see the Pakistani Supreme Court issuing an order that the Prime Minister of the country is not suitable and he cannot continue his office. Within the next moment, he resigns. But what has happened to Sri Lanka? 2.5 years since we came to power, we are unable to arrest an opposition member. Just a member of parliament we can't arrest. That is the state of affairs in this country, because I don't know who is playing whom, but law is not being meted out to people who have done wrong in this country. So even today I told the president why this is happening. He was also laughing at it. And this is the state of affairs in the country, that I always said justice delayed is justice denied. So the people of this country are just waiting with no results found.
In more local news, Minister Sajith Premadasa provided compensations to families that lost their property as a result of the construction of the 100-feet road in Suryavava, Hambantota.
The area residents recently protested, citing that they had not received the compensation for their houses, which were demolished to construct the road. The Minister of Housing and Construction, who arrived at the location, promised the people that they would receive the compensation within 2 weeks. Thereby, compensation was provided to 69 families today as the first step. I did not commence the construction of this road haphazardly the way I wanted it. The previous government did. I have done my duty. I did not wait for 14 days. I have commenced the work in 7 days. Remember, I will not provide birth certificates to the projects that have been commenced by others.
Getsi Shanmugam, a Sri Lankan teacher who counselled war widows and orphans to overcome their nightmares, has won this year's Ramon Magsaysay Awards, regarded as Asia's version of the Nobel Prize.
82-year-old Getsi Shanmugam is a teacher and psychological counsellor by profession. According to the Ramon Magsaysay Award Foundation, Shanmugam won the award for braving bombings and threats of arrests in conflict zones to counsel war widows, orphans and children traumatized by 3 decades of brutal civil war in Sri Lanka. She is among 6 winners of this year's Ramon Magsaysay Awards. The awards, named after the Philippine President Ramon del Fierro Magsaysay, who died in a 1957 plane crash, are to be presented in Manila on the 31st of August.
And in sports news, as mentioned, the first test between Sri Lanka and India is currently underway, but it seems to be slipping out of the hands of the hosts as the Indian batsmen keep piling on the runs on day 3. Well, on that note, we wrap up another edition of Primetime News. It was a pleasure having you with us. For the News First team, I'm Krishan Devasagayam.
I'm Stephanie Lazarus. Have yourself a great weekend ahead. Good night.